Hi, welcome back. I'm Emily. Alex is not here again today, so hopefully I'm recording everything right. I wanted to bring you guys up to speed on our acupuncture treatments. That's what we've been kind of trying lately for our fertility, and share some encouraging news for once. So that's good. About a month ago, I started going to for acupuncture for fertility purposes. It's been about a month. I started right after my last period, and I just got my other period. So I went for almost a whole cycle, and it's made such a difference already. I've been going once a week, and they do give me herbs to take twice a day depending on where I am in my cycle. So it's weekly treatments with the herbs. So let's just talk numbers. That's kind of the easiest way to tell that it's made a difference. On a normal non-medicated cycle without treatment, my cycle is usually 35 days. With an ovulation around day 25. And let me just interrupt myself right here. I have to say this. When I first went off birth control, I went for a very, very long time without getting a period. And so now that I'm getting them regularly, obviously you get a period and you're like, dumb, I'm not pregnant. But I do feel really blessed to be getting periods. And I really do take a moment to appreciate just getting them, because I was so panicked for so long about not having them that I do feel really, lucky that I am getting a period regularly. Anyways, so they're normally 35 days with an ovulation around day 25. So clearly I have kind of a short luteal phase, which, we figure is part of the fertility issues. So I just kind of have thought I probably won't get pregnant without treatment because my luteal phase is probably too short to support a pregnancy. It's, 10 days, and I usually start spotting at about 8 days after ovulation. So just kind of some back information for you. But now I've been through one acupuncture cycle, and my cycle was 37 days compared to the 35 days, but I ovulated on day 23. So this is good for two reasons. I feel really pretty excited about this, actually. I ovulated earlier, which is good, and I'll tell you why in a second. But then I also had a normal luteal phase this time. It wasn't the normal 14 days, which I didn't think my body could do on its own. So I was really feeling jazzed up about that. Obviously I didn't get pregnant, which is too bad, but so there was kind of a couple things we're celebrating there, that I ovulated sooner and that my period came later. So I'm anxious to see what will happen next month. We can't really afford to continue to do this indefinitely in case it works, but it seems to be kind of doing something right. So we're going to keep trying for a while with the acupuncture, I think. And like I said before, I didn't know that it was better to ovulate sooner. I kind of thought, if I'm ovulating, everything's obviously working fine. But my acupuncturist explained that it is better to ovulate around day 14, like a normal cycle, and that it's kind of the equivalent of leaving bread in the oven too long when you ovulate later. And then she said that I'm young, so it might not affect me too much, but it's just kind of good to know. I didn't know that either, that it is kind of, your body seems to do a little bit better when it ovulates earlier. So we're going to try to keep ovulating earlier. And the other thing that she said that I thought was kind of interesting was I do tend to have 2 days of spotting before my period, and I have since I started getting normal periods. I didn't ever think anything of it, but she was saying that's called blood stasis, I think she called it, and she doesn't like that. She would like me to, within 4 hours of spotting, get my period. I didn't see a big change in that this time. I still had, a little less, like a day and a half of spotting before I got my period, so I did see a little bit of improvement on that, but I didn't even know that was a concern, so that was good to know. And like I was saying to someone before, I never really had a 2-week wait. I had like an 8-day wait, and then I would start spotting. So it was kind of exciting for me to have a 2-week wait this time, but I can see how frustrating they are. But yeah, we're feeling encouraged and hopeful over here, at least for the time being. I do like how natural it is, and I like that it's getting my body to function more efficiently. I do get kind of uncomfortable about all the drugs that I take during the treatment cycle. If you haven't been watching, we've done 2 IUIs so far with injections, and it's nice to not do those and still see improvements. Besides the numbers, I also did see an increase in my cervical mucus, and I also saw an increase in my sex drive. She asked me if my sex drive had increased, and I was like, oh yeah, And she's like, well, I gave you some drastic herbs. So that must have helped, but Alex is excited for me to keep taking them. I was going to show you guys the herbs. So right here, I get one of these every time I go in. Lasts me for about the week. It comes with a little spoon. I don't know if you can see that. And then this is what I'm taking this time. This one doesn't taste very good. I can't pronounce it. The one that I had during my luteal phase tasted kind of like cinnamon, so that was good. But those are kind of an adventure. I was a little bit excited to get my period so I could try my new herbs, so that was kind of fun. Just on a kind of related note, my acupuncturist seems to think that a lot of our main fertility issues are stemming from me having viral meningitis when I was in high school. And I mean, I don't even really think about that time anymore, but I was very, very sick for 6 months in the hospital. It was a pretty dire situation, and it really took a toll on my body. It took me kind of years to recover. So my husband was saying, why has no one else made this connection before? So that was kind of something that we just started thinking about that we hadn't thought about before. But I think that's it for now. Maybe I'll post another video in a month or two if more things start happening that are exciting. But for now, we're feeling pretty peaceful and happy with the acupuncture. Obviously, still a long, frustrating journey, but seeing some hope, so that's good. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.